We have air raid here, currently under attack by the Russian terrorists. Russia is a terrorist state, just like the Islamic State. And as you can hear in Dnipro, southern part of Ukraine, the nighttime has arrived. It's about 11:19, and this has been going on for a few hours. There was actually an air attack earlier, drones and ballistics, and they're very active right now. Sorry, notifications are popping up. Don't forget that Frank Figluzzi will be on in about 40 minutes. I will be at the hotel. We'll see if I'll be able to jump in there at that point. But Russia is a terrorist state. And it's good to be in the southern part of this beautiful country I live in, Ukraine. Here with a couple of good brothers that were filming. We did not get down to our Kherson location last night because the van broke down, but we got on the train back in the southern part of the country. And as you can hear, what did I say? Russia is a terrorist state. Vladimir Putin's head should be on a goddamn platter like al-Baghdadi, period. Only a real leader would dare go out and put that on the table as the objective. A real leader would do like so callously and easily when it was the Islamic State. Remember? We got him, bin Laden. We got him, al-Baghdadi, head on platter. But when it's chess and ballet and bullshit literature and Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump loves holding his balls instead of actually taking him to task to stop this bullshit that's right now not only hitting here, but Odessa has been under attack for hours, constantly while I was on the train. My phone was activating, showing that there was a drone attack or ballistic attack in progress. Last night, if you saw this long exposure I put up on my account, I took that while my beautiful city, Kyiv, was being hit with 10 fucking missiles. 10 fucking missiles launched in my city. You know? There's no objective in that. Today on Threads, an account that is a Lord Bebo, if you know who that is, a disinformation account, was pushing bullshit about how, the drone manufacturing facilities were destroyed in Kyiv and blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. I know what gets made around Kyiv. I know what gets hit. I physically go to the attack sites. Places I may not have to go, I have friends who go to those attack sites, or I know the neighborhood. They are civilian locations. Or in the case of the secondary detonation that happened in Vishneve last week that I covered, that is also under investigation. The person who was storing munitions there was actually fired, is being held to account. And we know that these things, because it's a transparent society on that level here. Okay? And as this happens, we still have liars that wake up every fucking day to lie about the war that's happening against civilized people. So, as we have our wonderful friends back here ready to film these command teams, it's command teams. See, I think in Ukrainian, command here means team. So, Droniv command, a drone team, And right now, as I said, some sort of, I don't know if it's going to be ballistics or drones is happening here. We're just taking a little bit of time outside. I've got maybe 30 minutes, and then Frank Figluzzi will be going on for his Q&A on Friday. So do not miss that. Go in there and take advantage that you have some of these experts. I saw that what's Liz's last name? Troyer, the pardon attorney. I saw her testifying the other day on some clips that popped up. Remember, I don't get to see the live feeds you get to see in America. But the fact that we can talk to these people, the fact that we can follow them and read them more directly to us is a benefit. So please don't miss Frank's broadcast in about 30 minutes. And depending on what's happening here, I'll catch you then. That's my report for right now. Again, Chris here in Dnipro. We should be seeing Sean in the next couple of days and going from Dnipro on to Mykolaiv and back onto Kherson, where we skipped the first time because of the van failure yesterday. And a lot of filming between now and the end of the month. A lot of things happening. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, please. And if you can be a paid subscriber, that's also really helpful. Also, if you wouldn't mind telling friends. And to make that worth your while, I have to be accountable to what you need covered. I live here to bridge the gap between what my Ukrainian people in front of me need and also what people abroad want to know about what's happening here in country. Let me end it by saying one thing about that. Today, in what is goodwill discussion, and I want to frame it that way on purpose because I do know it comes from goodwill, arguments are breaking out on Twitter over Fedorov's dismissal and Zelensky and whether people should be criticizing. And there's this sort of NAFO knee-jerk reaction to tell people don't say bad things. And literally yelled at one of our good friends who I know comes in and goes here a lot, calling basically saying they're being divisive when they were actually telling the truth. Their post was honest. And this person said, well, no one really knows what happened with this situation. There are actually people currently in the viewer space right now who have at least had the link to an article that's here up here today about what happened. So you can go read my assessment of what happened with Fedorov, what's going to be happening next with Mara, the new MOD guy. Also, the fact that he is a long range strike expert is a good thing. So I don't think that's going to change. What's important to understand is that there's a reason why young people hit the streets yesterday. There's a reason why not just young people, but active people hit the streets across the country, in Kyiv, in Lviv, went out to Odessa, went out to make their voices known. And you tell me anywhere else in history, in our memory, in America, Britain, or anywhere else, that when someone dismissed a minister of defense, that protests occurred. No one can do that. Okay, so when I hear someone says, no one can know, I'm sorry to correct people outside the country. Those of us, not only that live here, but that have, I'm gonna do it again. I have to do it sometimes. I'm gonna have to do it as a reminder sometimes. But when you have these, you take your job serious, then you can know how things work. Yes. Especially if you're dedicated to it, especially if you study people up close. And you could take a video of me talking to you, and you could go to Mr. Fedorov and say, have you ever talked to this guy? And does he speak Ukrainian? And he will tell you, yes. I don't know him well, but yes, I've seen him at our Brave One events. And yes, I remember him speaking Ukrainian. My point is, I'm at those events. I'm at those events to talk to these very people you see in the headline. You know, when you see a minister of defense now, I have met the last. I briefly met Reznikov, but not enough to chat with him. But I did meet Umarov and chat with him, and I was able to talk not only with Fedorov, but I had 3 articles in Kyiv Post explicitly about the work. The Brave One Tech Forum, the AI releases, and it's like a big long AI consortium talking about all the developments that would happen here. The Brave One components event, you know, and when you're serious like that, you know who the other serious journalists are because you see them either at those events or when you read their articles, you know that they're actually doing the work. So, like for instance, in Kyiv Post, Stefan Horshak, who is a journalist also from Houston, strangely enough, he does a really good job, and I can tell he knows what he's doing, and I can tell he has that compounded experiential development in mind because his work shows it. Other people are winging it, and they're getting good views on YouTube, and people consider them a party. But more important, into what I saw on Twitter today, it's the same thing. There gets to be this tribal thing to defend blindly abroad without really having the sensibility to know what Ukrainians are thinking. Ukrainians were pissed off yesterday. Ignoring that online for feel-good hopium or denial doesn't help Ukrainians. The number one thing to do is listen to Ukrainians and try to find those people here. If you don't know Ukrainians in person, try to find people here like me or someone you trust, if it's someone different, to interpret that for you. You know, hey, Terrell Starr, hey, whoever you know that you trust that is not, I don't mean just around sometimes, around all the time, you know, really understands the politics, is dispassionate about it. Like I'm mostly dispassionate about this, except for I do support Fedorov. I do so because I see, I've talked to him in person, and I see the results of his work. But more importantly, I see that he embodies a spirit that the others really demand. So again, 30 minutes till Frank. See you later. Thank you so much for your support. I'll check Currently still under air raid attack here in Dnipro, but Russia's a terrorist state. We're used to this right now. Yes? Do your part, Congress. Tell them to please finish all aid that they can on the table, get it passed, while Trump still thinks and realizes that Ukraine is the hero. And we appreciate you. Slava Ukraini, heroям слава і пиздец Російській Федерації.